Hello and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. They say this game is called Following Family Thread. My name is Winona and I'll be the DM for today. And I am with the
Mm-hmm.
wonderful, talented, creative, all around really good friend.
Oh my god, I don't deserve all of that.
Yes, you
Hi
do.
everybody, my name is Whis, and I am back with Celeste Alamos. Well,
Yes.
no, she's Celeste Scribbles now. That's going to take me some time.
Scrambles. Yes, Celeste Scrambles.
Celeste Scrambles. Oh, hell's bells. Oh,
Mm, yes. Because Selli convinced Jewel to. She's like, you don't know your family is say left alive. Write to them.
yeah. I was very pleased with her for that. Um, so that was great.
Yes,
She did a good job.
she did, and she convinced Jewel to be like, write to your family and see if they're even alive. And at least the genius loci are, or say una magicae, I should say say una magicae are. One of them say is definitely very far away. You have no idea where one letter took off to, but the other one you come to find out later, like when you get closer to the school, you're just, like say during the morning. It's like, wait a minute, I'm getting a ping.
Well, the thing that is that she tries not to do too much of this, trying not to have the world end stuff
Mm-hmm.
at home because she wants home to sort of be less stressful than that. So she wouldn't be casting her locate object at home anyway. So she'll do it on one of them, and she'll go, okay, I am not getting a location ping because it is further than 1,000 feet away. But like, I feel like the way that the spell is written is like you get a
Yeah.
sense that that's the case.
Uh
So it's
huh.
not like it's destroyed or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, it's a thing,
Yeah.
but it's nowhere near here.
Mm-hmm.
And then she'll do the other one, and 1,000 feet. Let me just quickly put that into a calculator because I want to know how much this is feet in meters. 300 meters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
What
sorry
is something
you had
that
to
is
say these are American feet, so say
okay? What is how long is 300 meters? Da, 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 da. I don't care about 1 1/3 times as tall as the Golden Gate Bridge. Oh my god! And now my phone is ringing. BRB.
it's okay. Da, 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 da. Waiting. getting a message. Aww. Oh, it had a meltdown. It's okay.
Oh, damn.
Aww.
Parenting.
Parenting.
Holy dooly. Okay. We may want to cut some of that out.
It's okay.
I'll talk about all that later. Okay, so 300 meters. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It is a lot. So, let me just quickly look up, just so I can. How big is the university? One of the universities near me. Okay, it is that, and we want that in meters. Jesus. Okay. So, with the assumption that the UPA University is probably at least the same size as one of the local universities here, if not slightly bigger.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that's set in. I want it in acres. Oh my god, that's wrong. I was gonna say that doesn't seem right. The fuck does that mean? Okay. I think it's big enough to cover the entire campus. Let's just go with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1,000 feet will definitely do the whole campus.
Mm-hmm.
And so she'll do the first one, and she goes, okay, yeah, no, there's definitely too far away, but she was kind of expecting that. Mm-hmm. And then she'll do the other one, and she was fully expecting that one, but she's more checking to just sort of get the yes, it's out there somewhere ping, rather than expecting it to be in the university somewhere.
Yeah.
And then she's actually getting a ping from the second one, and she's like, wait. She just sort of stops a little bit. Like, she was probably casting it idly while she was doing something at her desk, and then she just sort of, her pen stops, and she just sort of perks up and looks around and then looks in the sort of direction of the ping. Like, it's on campus.
It's on campus.
So she's going to put down her pen, and she's going to get up and speed walk out of her office. Not run. She doesn't run. She's too dignified to run. She is absolutely speeding out of the office because holy shit, she's got a ping. It is within the like 1,000 feet of her. It is on campus. What the hell? There is someone from Jules' family here. So
that
she's going
evil?
to look. Well, we assume.
Yes.
So yeah, she is making her way downtown, moving fast, and heading in the direction of the ping that she's getting.
And that ping is a hot cold. I say it's a hot cold thing, and you eventually follow the hot coldness to the UPA University, say, library, which also kind of doubles as the city library in a way, because this is the biggest. Again, UPA University is basically the heart of this entire city.
Yeah, and like, if I remember the way that you described this before, each of the different departments has their own dedicated but like specific library.
Yes.
But then there's the library TM that is like everything.
Yeah.
So it's probably on the edge of campus so that you don't have to come into campus as a non-university student to access the library, which would make sense. But she's just going to be sort of standing there in front of the university side of the like entrance to the library and be looking up at it and going, I'm not entirely surprised about the location necessarily, but this library is definitely a surprise. And then she's just gonna go in and continue searching.
As you walk into the library, you've been here before. You as you enter the building, to the right of you, there's the cafe slash bakery where all the students are hanging out. There's like a big sort of lobby area. You see the desk and everything, and then of course all around are the different levels of the library where it has many books. There's a lot. Say there's the elevator to the left side that has that say that brings the students up and down, along with a spiral staircase. Say for those who can use it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, she's just going to continue to follow her little her vibes, her spells vibes, and try and figure out where that paper aeroplane is.
Yeah, of course. Do you also want to make a perception check while you're at it?
I would be delighted. What is your percepi? There it is. I do have physical dice for her, but I don't have anything good to roll it in at the moment, so I'll just roll in here. Oh, wait, what?
There we go.
It didn't like the capital D. That's fine. It's case sensitive. Okay, 17.
Alright, you don't see anything out of the normal per se. You do see a couple of students like looking, say like catching your eye, and some of the staff members like, wait, say she's usually not here this time of day. What she's doing here? But at the same time, they don't make a big fuss of it. It's just like, okay, that's a bit weird, as they just continue to normally go along their day.
Yes, it would be a little bit unusual for the headmistress to just randomly be in the library. But she is mostly ignoring them. Like if they wave or give her a nod or anything, she will give them a small little nod in recognition and a hello back. But she is determined to find what she's looking for.
Yeah, and say you sort of like say, all right, now make a say. What would be a good one for this? Let me look at the. This is sort of a hot cold thing, so roll survival.
Okay. Oh, that's an 8. That's not good.
You swear that there's something maybe coming. Say you're not very sure, but you feel like there's something coming from the from the little coffee slash bakery.
Okay. Well, let me look at the thing. You sense the direction to the object's location as long as that object is within 1,000 feet of you. I think because it's so indistinct, I think what she might do is she might stand, like, not in the line to get food, but sort of off to one side and look like she's just surveying the room. It's like being ominous as she is. Like, oh god. But yeah, so she'll just sort of stand there with her hands behind her back, and she is just actually going to cast it again. Because it only lasts 10 minutes anyway, so it probably would take her more than 10 minutes to get here from the admin building. But so she is just going to cast it again and hope that she can get a slightly more precise go.
Fair enough. Do you want to make another
at locating it?
Fair enough. Do you want to make another perception check as you like enter this little bakery slash coffee place?
18.
Oh yeah. You say you walk in, you smell the fresh scent of coffee and like baked goods. There's a large display case showing different kinds of baked goods, what coming from muffins to donuts to even small little cake and macaroons. Say coming say blah, 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 blah. Yeah, word speak. Say word is hard, but
Om nom
om
bread.
nom. Say maybe making your stomach growl a little. It's just like maybe say you're thinking maybe that say as you cast a spell you again you're like this is not technically coming from in here, but maybe my stomach is leading me more than I thought.
Mm,
You also
yeah.
say you also with that high perception like notice like small details like they don't spell baked goods, but you also see like breakfast sandwiches being made at all hours of the day. You see, say you see some salmon, say bagel sandwiches. You see some, say egg, cheese, and say bacon, say croissant sandwiches. But you also see a giant not giant, but it's like a large statue of a golden coffee bean in the corner of the say of the coffee shop. And well, and because you got 18, you also see one of the students go up to this like golden bronze statue of a coffee bean that and petting it and then taking a sip of coffee and just sort of giving an affirmative nod before going out of the coffee shop.
Okay. um. Hmm. I think. Hell's bells. Okay. I think what she might be doing. 'Cause she's just sort of looking at this going,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, and not long after, you see another student doing the same thing, taking a swig of coffee while petting this bean, and just leaving and/or sitting down to study.
Okay. So what she is going to do is she's going to quickly shoot off a detect magic as quietly as she can, just to rule out anything.
You can,
And then, provided that there isn't anything, she's just going to assume that it is a good luck ritual that the students have come up with. That being affectionate to this giant coffee bean will help them with their studies.
you detect no magic.
Yeah, okay. In that case, okay, hold on. Let me just make sure that I am managing her spells right, because she's using a lot of spells. Hide unprepared. There we go. Make the list a little bit shorter. Okay. Locate object is second level, and she's cast that twice already. And then detect magic is the first level, so she said. And now she has to she has to cast locate object again. Because they're both concentration spells, and she had to lose concentration on locate object in order to figure out if the bean was relevant somehow. That's funny as hell. That's okay. Alright, so we're gonna use our last second level spell slot to do locate object again to pull that back up for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah. It's a, you sort of some students notice, it's that you do see like a table of students notice your sort of very confused look, and one of them sort of goes, yeah, that's the golden bean. You pet it, you pet it to and drink coffee. It's supposed to bring you good luck during finals and or important tests.
I see. Well, I hope that it is doing a good job for you all.
Supposedly it is. Just one of the local legends say here at the campus.
I see. Well, luck only takes you so far, doesn't it?
Yeah, but
But it
you
doesn't
can
hurt.
never have a little bit. you can never have too much luck. As you see another student come up that is like jittery with coffee and is just taking like downing the whole thing as they pet the bean furiously.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Guessing that one's a freshman.
Well, we'll just have to see how that does. Thank you. It's quite illuminating.
Oh
And
yeah.
she's going to give a small little nod, and then she's just going to actually try and focus on the whole reason why she's here.
Yeah, and you do fail another ping, and it leads you out of the library, and it seems to be somewhere above you.
Okay. Much as she is capable of taking the stairs, she doesn't want to. She's going to take the lift.
You take the lift and say, what floor are you going to? There's 4 floors and a basement.
It was above her, so she's not going to the basement. So she's going to just sort of go to each floor, like, because it's a constant feeling is the vibe I get from the way that the spell is written, because it's 10 minutes you sense the direction. So she's going to push every button on the lift so it will stop at every floor to give her some time to just sort of calibrate and then get off if she needs to. But yeah, so she'll just check each one as she goes up.
Give me a second as I roll something. Okay. You go up to the first floor. You go up to the first floor above the ground floor, and you feel like it's still above you. And when you go up to the second floor, you feel the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
She just keeps looking up. Okay.
Do you want to make another, perception check as you go up?
Ugh, I do wish her perception was better, and that she would roll better. That's only a 7.
As you go up to the third floor, you don't notice anything. You're just too focused on trying to figure out this thing. However, once you reach the third floor, suddenly the connection is gone.
Interesting.
Like,
So she can't feel it anymore, or...
yeah.
Huh. Okay. Well, she's going to go back down to the third floor, given as that was the last place she felt it.
She feels nothing.
Huh. Okay. Okay, there's 2 options that I can think of. Either it's just been put into hammer space, which can be a bit wibbly wobbly whether or not locate object works on things in hammer space, given as they're technically on another plane of existence when they're in there. Or it's behind any thickness of lead. Okay.
Or there's a third option.
A third option.
It was destroyed.
That is also an option, yes. But she's going to rule out all of the things. So first of all, she's going to roll a history to see whether or not she can think of any like lead that might be like in the library, like if there was like a safe or like something like that, like a. Because the lift is magic; it's not made out of metal, so. All right. So let's see. D20 plus history modifier, which is a 6. Selli, come on. Okay, she has no idea.
Yeah.
Well, I think when she was in the lift, and she hit the 3rd floor, and then it disappeared as she was continuing up to the 4th. Was the direction still above her when she was on the 3rd floor?
Yes.
Okay, so she's going to go back up to the 4th floor and have a look around. That's where she's going to get out of the lift.
All right. Say, how long do you look around for?
A little while. Like, she's going to be thorough, looking out for anything that catches her attention. Like, it doesn't have to be big or ostentatious, but she is just going to be trying to see, well, if she can see a paper airplane, or the remnants of a paper airplane, or, anything that she can use to figure out what's going on.
Fair enough. And as you do, make another perception check.
Selli, please, I'm begging you! Oh, fuck. Oh dear, we're not going to get very far.
You don't find exactly what you want, but you do notice as you continue to go along for a much longer time than anyone is expecting, you get this feeling as you look around at the other students, they're becoming more increasingly like nervous and uncomfortable as you are looking around.
I guess that's what happens when you give someone in authority the menacing feat. Oh well. That's unfortunate. She's trying not to, like, look directly at the students because there's something in particular she's looking for, and it's not a student. So hopefully, like she's not trying to be, imposing or anything. Is there any way of getting further up? Like, is there a roof terrace or anything on this floor?
Not that you know of.
You cut out. Was that a not that I know of?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I think she's gonna do one last lap of the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna beg, please, Avray, I need this. Fuck you, piece of shit. Okay, well, this is gonna be a very short FPS if she can't find any. Yeah, right. Well, she's going to go back into the lift, and I suppose she'll go down and do a lap of each of the lower floors, just so that the people on the 4th floor don't feel too singled out.
Do you want to make an investigation roll or perception roll, whichever is better for you?
Oh, she doesn't have a lot in this department. She's not right. Unfortunately, they're all 2s. And that is another 4 because Avray hates me. You know what? Let me get her physical dice. Let's see whether or not her actual dice... Oh, hello, you Gear cards. What are you doing in there? Let's see whether or not her actual D20 is nicer to her than Avray. Not really. Not really at all. That's a 6 on the die, which makes it an 8. Not particularly. She's not finding shit! Sigh. Oh well.
Yeah. You exhaust your options. Like, you come to a complete dead end as you continue to walk around this library as people become increasingly worried say about you because they're like, oh shit, a lot of things has gone on. What's gonna happen now?
Yeah, well, I suppose she will just sigh and make her way outside, and just for the sake of being thorough, she might just walk around the outside of the library, see if there's anything that she can notice there.
Yeah. Make another
before giving up.
Making another perception and or investigation.
Oh, Selli, please. I'm begging you. Thank fuck! Okay. That's an 18. We're still in the game, guys! We're still here!
Still in the game.
Oh, Jesus.
As Selli walks around the essay library, she's beginning to feel exhausted because she hasn't found any leads whatsoever. However, as you walk past a group of wizarding students, you overhear a conversation, and he's like, it's just like, it looks to be some older classmen talking to some freshmen or to some younger classmen at least. And it looks like it looks like these two this sort of group knows each other, and the upper class is telling the younger classmates like, okay, the one thing also you want to know about particularly the library is you don't stay up that late. Like, it's closed for a reason. Just go to the other library for the wizard library for studying. Literally, this library is haunted after hours. And the little freshman one of the freshmen looks confused, like, haunted? Really? Hey, don't look at me. I've been through it. I've been through the initiation. They used to, before the new headmistress come up, they used to send freshmen into the library after hours to supposedly stay there for the night. If they don't stay there for the whole night, they get ridiculed. But God, I see some things like books flying around, ghost in there. He's like, oh, come on, you're pulling my chain. It's like, no, seriously, it's haunted. Do not stay. If you need to study really late, go to your friend's dorm. Do not go to that library. Everyone knows it, and even though the wizard tradition is gone, just don't do it for your own safety. I got a knocker the size of a baseball during that during that initiation for a good week.
Okay. She is not going to approach these students, though she is pink, so she might stand out. So maybe one of them notices her standing within earshot, and like looking at them. I guess.
Maybe one of the senior
but she's going to take this under advisement.
Yeah, probably one of the seniors do notice her, and they're like doubling down. It's like, yeah, don't get her going after hours. The classic wizard initiation is gone now. Don't do it. Mainly out of fear of retaliation from the new headmistress. Just like, nope, let's not start anything with the new headmistress around.
I'm just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna roll her a history. That is a 25. Has this crossed her desk at all? Has she got anything to do with this?
You actually heard something from Scrambles, actually, just passing by as like you were taking as you were like starting to become it was an off conversation of you and you being around in the headmistress office and Scribble helping you getting all your stuff in and getting everything in order. He does tell you about some like classic and like traditional things that like the students do just to forewarn her that something may come up. Like you've heard about like different like traditions, like the streaking. There was once there was a streaking thing at night for the barbarians. The barbarian college. Another thing is that the bard college would decorate the clock tower, and then he does mention about the wizard initiation where it has been a tradition in the Wizards College to stay the night over at the main library because, as a test of courage, because it has been known for many generations as haunted at night. They say like they've heard voices in the say library at night. They say some have reported ghosts. Others like they also mention like throwing books or they say coffee bags depending on where they are. They say no one has confirmed about the hauntings like, but it's sort of been one of the things that has sort of been always known about the camp. It's just like, yeah, don't stay too up too late in the library at night, otherwise spooky stuff goes on.
Okay. I think if that's the case, probably Selli wouldn't have put anything in place to stop any of these like traditions at any of the different colleges. With the exception of the Barbarian College, she would have specifically requested that they all remain decently dressed while on campus. But like it's she's just gone, okay, someone has said something about being proper and not doing any of these on her behalf because she didn't say that they weren't allowed to stay in the library overnight. Perhaps it was these are the rules, the library is closed, please don't go there, but like she hasn't like specifically said no, you can't do this tradition anymore, which she finds very interesting. However, she is now going to, because she can see these students now looking at her, she's going to give them a small little nod, and then she's going to head back to the admin building, and she's going to come back later.
Would she like to do anything during the day before going there at night?
I think probably she'll try and find if there are any official records on like haunting or strange happenings at the main library, whether or not they're complaints or student reports or anything like that that may have actually been written down. She's going to try and find anything that might be on record for it.
There is some early records of say way in near the beginning of the university's lifespan of the library, say school newspapers saying the library's haunted. Like there has been say like detective groups going out there, like student ones obviously, to figure out is it true, is the library truly haunted, with mixed results. Some of them saying they've seen something, and others say they haven't been it's completely wrong. They haven't had anything weird. Like the school faculty say the janitors and the librarians say like nothing really goes on at nights. It's just students trying to say they think it's some sort of prank by the older students making the books fly or something, but nothing conclusive. Again, mixed reports.
Okay. And I'll need you to refresh my memory here. At which point after the erasure did University City and the university sort of... How long did it take?
After this recent one, I think what was the exact, I think it was like only like 100 years ago, if I remember my notes correctly. I put the university, starting, but it's almost been there since the beginning of the, since the most recent erasure, if I remember correctly, if I put it on in the timeline.
Yeah, well, the erasure was about 200 years ago, so...
Oh, it was half of that, so yeah.
Half of that? Okay, alright. Great. Which is fine, because Selli is well aware that Jewel and her family of Order Magicae are very long-lived, and presumably, if they weren't in Ankwell at the time of the erasure, would be fine. So that's not a huge stretch. Okay. She is a little bit concerned if it is related to that this particular family member may be more of a threat, given Quill's claims that the city and the university were his doing. But I can't think of anything else that she could do. Maybe she might um use one of her higher spell slots to hit off another locate object later in the day just to see whether or not it pops back up.
Yeah.
But apart from that,
They say,
no, she probably wouldn't do anything. I can't think of anything.
she also has access to like the faculty and stuff. Like she can even have Scribbles since if she wanted to, because like you say, this is a wizard tradition in particular. Maybe he knows something about it. But other than that,
Yeah, it's not so much that the tradition, because what she's thinking that it's either going to be excuse me, it's either going to be a ruse, like a hazing ritual, or genuinely haunted, or maybe the library is a genius locus. She doesn't know. Or it might be that there's a family member of Jules that lives in the library and is doing this. So there's 4 options. And she wants to know which one. So it's not so much the tradition of going into the library at night and, having stuff happen. It's why the stuff is happening. That's the bit that she cares about. So what she's going to do is she is going to she's going to just finish her day, and before she leaves, she'll use one of her higher spell slots to just check again with the locate object to see if she gets anything, like if it's come back into her field of
nope.
being able to ping.
Yep, there is no ping.
Okay. So she is now assuming that it is probably been destroyed, which is fine. But she's going to... she's probably just going to send a plane to Scribbles, say, I'm going to be staying late tonight. Please don't wait. Please eat dinner with the kids and go to bed. It's going to be fine. And if I am not back in the morning, come look at the main line. But then she is going to make herself a cup of coffee and get something to eat. She might go like out into the city to get something to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And then come back, and she's going to go back to her office and just keep doing work until the sun is properly down before she heads to the main library.
Yep, and sorry, clogging my throat.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does that, and of course, the usual admin and headmistress work comes in. Taking care of all the paperwork. Talking to staff when needed and everything. But the day goes by pretty quietly for the most part, and the sun goes down, and the students go back to their dorms or go out partying or whatever, and eventually it gets completely dark out.
Yep. She's going to just very calmly pack up her desk, stand up, brush off her dress, and make a direct line for the university.
Go back to the library, and the vibe of the library at night feels very off from the day. The day is very lively and stuff. It's a place of learning. It's very cozy, but now the library sort of takes on a different light. It feels empty, barren, almost feels like a ancient archive as the lights are all turned out, and the only thing you can see are the only thing that's casting light is the moonlight outside, as the air feels still, as dust particles can be seen every so often wafting within the strands of the moonlight.
She's not going to be casting light just at this point, because she's not trying to do anything too complicated. She is just walking through the library. She's going to start at the ground floor, just sort of do a lap, then she will go up the stairs this time, just nice and slowly, go up to the second floor, and then go up to the third floor, all the way up the library.
Before you get past the first floor, though, I need you to make a stealth check.
Okay. Oh, let's see how this goes. That's a 16. That's actually not too bad. It's all right.
Mm-hmm. You stealth your way, you say you're quiet and stuff. You're very observant as you go along, wanting to make sure. And you eventually head back. You get a feeling you head back to the coffee shop. It's completely empty. Everything has been sealed for the night. And the big bean is still there, in the corner. Moonlight is almost illuminating a little bit, and everything seems pretty calm for the most part. Do you want to make an investigation?
Because we've been doing so well at those. That's better. It's not good, but it's not like a 6.
This is true. Let me roll something.
Selli is very good at very specific things. And this is not one of them, unfortunately.
1 second. Alright. You do not you don't see anything out of the normal in this coffee shop. You do hear, at least at first, you don't hear anything. And looking around, nothing seems to really be out of place. However, you then hear something. Little, almost footprints. But you don't see, you hear footprints, but you can't see them.
Okay. I've got a question for you. I'm just looking at her spells. Actually, I had 100. Okay. Never mind. She doesn't have that one prepared, so I can't use that. What have you got that could do something? Not a whole lot, really. How about we just crack out a detect magic? I think that sounds fine. Just to get the aura happening. Yeah. So if you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any. So she might just quietly drop that and just keep herself moving towards the little tippy tap footsteps that she can hear.
All right. As you detect the magic, you do get a small ping, a very small ping. Like the size of the magical object is very small, and it is coming near where the barista stuff is.
Okay.
She wished to go, walk closer to the barista stuff.
Oh yeah, 100%.
All right. What's your AC?
18.
All right. 1 second. So as you get closer to the barista stand, you then get you're getting close to it, but then you realize it's behind the counter. And as you go behind the counter, you see one of the coffee cups fling out at you say just under its own accord. You're able to dodge it. It smashes into the wall, into the ground.
Oh, like one of the ceramic ones.
Yeah.
Okay. I was picturing one of the little paper takeaway cups. Just this harmless little pook against her shoulders. Like, no, a ceramic one? No, she will just sort of lean. Like, she's not going to do any, Matrix dodges or whatever. She's, just turns ever so slightly so that it misses. And then she's just going to be looking. And she might even round the counter so that she's on the other side.
All right. Make a
that's
dexterity
just
saving
rude.
roll.
Okay. I can make a dex save. I don't know how well this is going to go. But, we'll try. That is a 12.
All right. So let me get some dice out.
Oh dear. Clearly wasn't high enough. This is why specialist characters are so fun.
As you get, around the corner and get even a little bit closer, the coffee bar almost seems to come alive as different cups and whether it be ceramic and or paper start floating up and start attacking you. Start attacking you. You'll take 3 points of bludgeoning damage and 3 points of piercing damage as literally you are slammed with coffee cups and from that are both ceramic and paper. And they do not stop.
All right. Well.
And also you feel some not only just cups, there's also bags. There are small bags of sugar and powdered sugar that are also flying at you.
Okay. Well. Okay. Selli wants to do several things. First of all, she's going to be protecting her face with her arms because she doesn't really want to get coffee cups to the face. Mm-hmm. Then she's going to quickly roll an insight to see if this is a go away or I'm going to fucking kill you or kind of response. That is a 22.
This is very much a go away go away gesture you feel because the moment you start getting closer, the more furious of stuff being thrown at you.
Okay. She is going to stop getting closer, but she's not going to back off. She's just going to sort of just stand there protecting her face. And then to rule out the possibility of this being the result of Jules' family member, she's just going to be protecting her face, and then she's just going to say,
"You wouldn't happen to be related to one Jewel Pendragon, would you?"
You get no response, but I need you to make a perception check.
Alrighty. 14! She has an eyeball! Oh my god.
She has an eyeball, and as you look around, you see sugar being flown over. Some of the packets rip open, and you as you're trying, you close your eyes and you protect your face a little bit, and now you're looking around again. You see little tiny footprints. In the sugar. A different sort of from humanoid to what looks to be maybe a paw print. You're not very sure, but you see two tracks of two different small tiny sized creatures as you mentioned the name Jewel Pendragon. The floating objects drop and everything seems to go silent.
Okay.
But you get no
now,
response.
if I recall correctly, the two that we sent letters to was a phoenix-shaped Ueda and then a tiny little stick figure one.
Mm-hmm.
So I think his name was Inky, was it?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So she's going to give it a moment for the noise of shattering ceramic to just sort of calm down. And then she's going to lower her arms and look around and go,
My name is Celeste Scrambles. I am a friend of Jules. Am I addressing Inky by chance?
You get no response, as nothing else is being thrown around right now, and nothing is responding to you.
yeah, she's going to chuck out another detect magic just because that's what she's got on hand.
You detect no more magic.
Okay, interesting. Interesting. All right. She is going to see if she can follow the little sugary footprints.
You try to follow the footprints, but they get but they lead make an investigation check for this.
Mm-hmm. Please. Dirty 20! Yay! We're back in the game, guys.
They seem to be leading out to the main library by the directions of direction of where the footprint is pointed.
All right. She's going to head on out. Head on after him.
You don't know where they went to once they leave the threshold of the coffee shop. But
It's got carpet and the sugar gets washed off their feet on the carpet.
yeah,
Yeah.
But where in the main library would you like to go?
She would like to go to the 4th floor.
How are you taking the going to the 4th floor?
I think initially she's going to start taking the stairs and she's going to keep an ear out for any more noises or anything. And if she decides she needs to be going up quicker, then she'll take the lift. But for the minute, she's taking the stairs.
You make a perception check if you're listening out to stuff.
21!
Dang.
Yay!
As she goes up, she can hear immediately sort of the ruffling of paper.
Uh-huh.
And it becomes almost stronger and not stronger, but louder as she goes up.
Mm-hmm.
As she then goes up to find the library, on the fourth floor, the books are. It seems like almost all of the books are flying around, very spookily, very Halloween Town-esque.
Fortunately, Selli has been in much more terrifying situations than this. So, I think what she's going to do is she's going to roll an intimidation. That's another 21. And she's just going to quietly go,
You better not damage any of those.
Alright. 1 second. You say, as she says that, the books seem to stop, but then sort of turn to look at her as what looks to be the books start glowing. Very blue, sort of aura-esque of a ghost, and each of the books sort of have a ghost, a varying scariness. Sometimes some look like toon ghosts, others look like real kind, as they look at Selli in dead eyes, and they're like, and they whisper, "Go away, go away," and then say Selli to make a wisdom save because then there's a giant crack of thunder as what sounds like rain starting to pour outside.
Dirty 20.
You get the momentary feeling of being extremely frightened, but it sort of washes past you as you stand firm against these ghost books. As thunder,
It's like a startle.
Yeah.
I'm going to also roll her a deception to see whether or not she can keep the startle off her face. 13? She probably could tell maybe a little, depending on what their how perceptive this entity is.
Also, I need to check something really quickly. I need to check the wording on something. Okay, I made you roll this wrong. I accidentally made you roll the wrong say thing, but honestly, it doesn't matter on a 20. So I'm just gonna keep rolling this because that was my fault. But as she looks closer at these books, she noticed something. These aren't real ghosts. These are illusions.
Nice.
The voice is an illusion, you don't think, but these ghosts, these flying ghost books are.
Okay. Well, after she's kind of gone, oh, lightning, I'm okay. Then she's just going to look very pointedly at the collection of floating books and then just go,
I will not.
The ghosts seem to be, not doing anything, and then I need to see if this hits. Nope, as a actual book comes off a shelf and starts, is thrown at you. And then another, and then another. As the books seem to then a group of books begin to swarm and make themselves a swarm of animated books from what you look like.
Selly's just going to be standing there, like, I mean, she's rolling off of that intimidation that she did before, that 21. So she's just like, I'm not having it. Like, she's doing the completely unimpressed, just standing there. And, like, I think one of the reasons why she's so, like, intimidating is just half the time you can't fucking hurt her. So she's just standing there and is just sort of letting them try. And then she's just going to fold her arms and go,
have you finished your tantrum?
The swarm of what looks to be the swarm of books then justly swarm Selli and they surround her and they're gonna make another couple attacks.
Okay.
Yeah, that misses. That also misses. That also misses.
Oh, I love it. What are you gonna do, Selli?
As they keep chanting, "Go away, go away, go away."
I think what Selli is going to do is, because she's just so unimpressed right now, she is going to just gently tap at her pendant, her that she wears around her neck, her sun pendant, and she's going to cast light on it so that it sheds bright light very, very suddenly.
All
to
right,
try and like startle them.
all right. Make a perception check with advantage then.
Okie smokes.
Oh,
That is a natural 20!
god damn!
Yes! It almost makes up for all those shit rolls earlier. Thank you, Celeste. I love you.
God damn. As this bright light illuminates, flashes the library, all the books fall to the ground as she looks around and sees a group, a somewhat large group of what look to be tinies of various species and shapes staring at her. Some look to be around student age. All of them look to be around student age, but varying degrees from senior to freshman. As their concentration is let up as the flash come up, and they all once their eyes adjust, they look at her and they all notice her, and then silently and without a word disappear into the shadows.
I had no idea there was a cohort of Tiny Toons here. I'm not a threat to you all. I am looking for Inky. And I mean no harm.
Roll persuasion.
Oh boy. Let's roll her absolutely best start, shall we?
Oh!
That is more than that 20! Holy shit! Sorry, that was really loud. Okay. The shit rolls have been
crazy.
definitely made up for. Definitely made up for all those crap rolls earlier. Yay.
Yeah, as you see the Tiny Toons sort of like poke their heads out again into the light, and they're all sort of whispering to each other, not very sure what to do, until a flapping of wings rises above the sounds, and almost very much standing as the leader of the group is a pink stick figure with translucent pink butterfly wings. This and they look at you and they do this. Do you know Toon sign language? Does
She does, yes.
Even though they're a stick figure, they do Toon sign language.
Okay.
And they say, you may be the headmistress here, but you have no dominion. I say, what business do you need with my father?
She actually does smile, and she's going to tuck her pendant. Actually, no, she's going to dismiss the light spell on her pendant, so she's not continuing to blind anybody. And then she is going to sort of sit down on the ground and just adjust her dress over her knees. And she will actually sign back and says, would you prefer I sign or speak?
They sign back. Either one, I don't care either way. Talking would most of the group here don't know Toon sign, so I don't mind talking.
She nods and folds her hands in her lap.
I only wish to speak with him.
For what purpose? My father has protected this library for a very long time.
Then it is all the more important that I speak with him. Because there is a situation which will put this library at risk.
She signed. She say you can almost see it's like a very say like a she. There's no. She has say this stick tune has no eyes, but you could tell that she's glaring at say at her. It's like I know. Say we know this library's in danger. This whole town's in say the danger. In danger. You got to be more specific.
Very well. You may ask him yourself if you like. But the tune in the bottle is threatening the entire city. And I only wish to speak. If he does not wish to get involved, that is his business. But I simply want to speak with him.
She say they say this pink six tune girl is crosses her arms and looks at her, then looks at the other tinies as she then say as they then sort of make like a sighing motion and signs wait here as she flies off somewhere into the library.
She nods and sort of leans back slightly to sit, and they put.
The other tinies seem to go with her, and you don't know exactly where they went off to. But not too long later, she comes back with two other stick figure like twos. One that is one that is brown that has like sort of like fly wings, like toon fly wings, and the other one that is red that has like dragonfly wings.
Cute. Okay.
And the pink stick figure looks at her and say, "You may follow us. My name is Flutter Pendragon. These are my two brothers, Dart," and she points to the red stick figure for Dart, and then Beetle for the brown stick figure.
She'll give a little bow before she gets up because she is leagues taller than them. Just a little bow to them all in greeting. It is a pleasure to meet you all. And then she'll get up, adjust her skirt, and then wait to be led in the correct direction.
She is led by the three stick figures. And they eventually get to a portion of the wall of the they eventually get to a portion of the wall in the fourth floor of the library, a little corner, and they sort of trace some sort of symbol onto the wall, and the wall opens up to have a secret passageway that looks like it's a stairway leading upwards.
Let me just roll a deception real quick. That's a 10. She probably can't hide how delighted she is at that. Like, that's cool. She is a little nerd girl at heart. That's cool shit.
Yeah. And you actually hear Dart Pendragon actually speak. It's like, this is the secret way up to the attic for the library. Even though it's technically common knowledge by the librarians, not many have actually really used it in centuries.
I didn't even realize there was an attic. It's not been particularly obvious in any of the notes I've seen, but I suppose that's to your benefit, isn't it?
Dart nod. Yeah. More will be explained, but we need you to make sure this stays between us for all the tinies involved here.
Of course.
She is then Dart then nods as they lead her upstairs, as she goes up the stairs, the door closes behind her, and torch is a magical torch lights light up the way up the staircase until they reach the attic, which immediately you can see what looks to be a tiny mini campus in the attic, where it is a mixture of fairy lights, is say wooden, is a use of the cardboard, but also is a very much a lot of plaster. You can tell that is a they somehow they probably got say the books that the library was originally gonna get rid of, like thrown away because they've been too old. Looks like they used the paper from those books to make plaster to like make actual buildings, say in this attic.
She cannot hide how delighted she is at this. Oh my god, she has a tiny campus in the attic of her campus library. Oh my god, that is so fucking cool.
You didn't expect the tiny village, did ya?
No, that was not on my bingo card or on hers. So she's just sort of she's doing prayer hands, but like in that way that it's just really close to her chin, and she's just like, oh my god. She's not saying anything, but she's just like, this is too serious for me to start glowing right now. No, I must not.
Yeah, like you could definitely like. Here's some things. There are some tinies that are more public, and there are some tinies that like remain like completely secret. And you do notice like some tinies that you have seen like on campus that you say that are out in the public eye, but there is a good portion, like a majority of the tinies up here are like ones that you had no idea that were actually here at all. They're the more secretive type that probably really helped build this place up to be a place of living and learning.
Amazing. That's brilliant. Oh my gosh. That's so cool.
And they say in Beetle, who has a unique way of speaking. He speaks through speech bubbles, and
cool.
And Beetle's like, please sit over here so you do not accidentally destroy something. And he sort of points next to sort of a kind of amphitheater, say sort of step for the Tiny Toons, made up of like the seats are made up like of little, say a mixture of actual like doll chairs to like bottle caps and everything, and the stage looks to be made out of like popsicle sticks for the wood and everything.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, she'll go and if there's room enough for her to sit without damaging anything, she'll sit down on the floor. Yes. Otherwise she'll just stand up.
Yeah, there's enough room. That's why Beetle sort of, showed her over there to actually be able to sit down, as you are the biggest thing in the room, and every tiny has taken notice and have frozen.
Yeah, that's fair and reasonable. Yeah, no, she'll sit down. Not gonna lie, her brain is already running with ideas of, oh my gosh, can I help them with materials or anything? Can I get Rye to make them tiny furniture? Would he do that? Would they want that? Oh my god. Like me, the player, is like, oh my god, I gotta 3D print them some tiny chairs. It's like, we don't have 3D printers in the D universe. Where's calm down?
I love this. Yes. I need to get a drink really quickly. Yeah, everyone's sort of frozen right now. Some of them have immediately like went to hide. Others that recognize you are just standing there in frozen bewilderment, like almost like they were like caught red-handed drinking like when they were not supposed to. And some of them are caught drinking, and they immediately just throw their bottles away to one random corner, and like you hear like a cartoon like ow off screen.
Mm-hmm.
As again, some stand there, others they either stand or hide, and eventually you see the one that you're looking for, a black stick figure that you recognize from the paintings in Jewel's castle. Come towards her. Comes towards her, walking through the crowd and parting and the people are parting the way through him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you see a black stick figure, which also you see just a regular black stick figure, which looks to be has some additions to his design. He has what looks to be like a little shell upon his back.
Okay.
And
like a turtle shell or a
no,
snail
like a
shell?
carapace, like a beetle. Sort of like a
Beetle
beetle
shell.
shell.
Okay. Yep.
Almost you could say an elytra.
Yeah. You're right.
And he comes forward, and he looks at Selli, and you actually hear him telepathically this time.
Mm-hmm.
So you have found our home.
It was not easy to find, so you should be proud of your security measures that are in place, Mr. Pendragon.
Inky nods. Thank you. But I was not expecting to see you here. Though I had an inkling when I felt the magic through through that letter.
No tricks. No, nothing in particular for tracing it. I was able to pinpoint it using detect object, or locate object, I believe, is the correct name of the spell, and I was not expecting it to be so close by.
He nods. Yes. I I was hoping, well, this place would never be found. As he sort of looks around at the other sort of shell shock tidies, and sort of made a gesture to go on with their day, and they do, but they sort of give you guys a clear berth to have a private conversation.
Yeah. And she nods, and
I have not interacted with many tinies, but my understanding is that for the most part they like to keep their distance from larger toons. So I do not blame you for that kind of attitude. But I can assure you that if secrecy is what you want, then that is what you shall have. I shall not speak of it to anyone unless it is strictly necessary.
He gives an approving nod. I would appreciate a keep that way. Though tiny toons have been lately, through this past century, have come more into contact with bigs, and have started the process of coincidingness, it still has not been 100% that way. Hence why I wish this place to be remained a secret for those who do want to live and learn here through the university.
I completely understand. It must be quite a shock to everyone in your little community here to have me here in the first place, let alone the great swaths of us that are outside. So I don't blame them for that either.
Mm-hmm.
But I do appreciate you granting me an audience tonight.
Just for tonight. Because I know, well, my brother has caused more of a problem in this university than ever. Sort of the reason why I sort of made a home here to keep an eye on him. Unfortunately, there's only so much I can do while also protecting my own. As he looks at he glances back at the tinies for a second.
Yes, I imagine so. But that is the reason why I am here. He has made a direct threat. And the extent of what he plans to do to the university and the city at large, I don't care to imagine. But Quill needs to fall, unfortunately.
There must be no secrets here. Say if I'm gonna say tell you what I know. So what exactly do you mean that he's a direct threat? Be frank and be truthful.
There is a member of our party who has potentially knowledge that he wants and that the people he works with, potentially for, also wants. And he has said on no uncertain terms that if we are not to present this member of our party to him, that... I'm trying to remember the exact phrasing of the letter. Hold on. Group chat. I should have read this ahead of time. What was it that he said? Oh my god, we have talked so much about this in such great detail. It's so far away. We have said on no uncertain terms. Oh, the hell is the letter? Come on. Okay. That's three sentences. The three sentences, three words that pretty much sum it up. He has stated on no uncertain terms that he will destroy University City.
Say Beetle, say Dart and Flutter look shocked at this, but say it looks like their father isn't quite shocked, and looks and gives a sigh. I am not surprised at this. He will do anything for knowledge, even if it's destroying what he first created.
Yes. Given what I know of him and his history, this is something that I know to be true of him. That there is no barrier, no line he will not cross for the knowledge he craves. And this is a problem.
And say an inky nod. Yes.
I assume that you knew he was alive from the attack on the university that he undertook not that long ago.
Yes. It was a very stressful time for all of us. He's always had his finger in this university, but that attack sort of caused everyone on edge even more so. It took
Did
everything.
you know he was alive before then?
Yes.
I see.
Yes. Again, I sort of made my hands tied because of protecting these these other tinies. There was nothing much they could do without, well, my help. I am a strong magic user along with my children, and I was the first one to help protect this place from any influence that my I don't like saying brother, but he is, and would have on this place. He wanted his mitts in every portion of the university, and it took all of my abjuration and abjuration magic to protect him from even knowing this place exists.
That is admirable and very impressive. The extent of his influence on the university is something I am still undoing, and will likely be undoing for years to come.
Yes.
But I will only get that opportunity if we are able to.
Then continue on. Whis? Whis? Oh no. Can you hear me?
Sorry, I just had an oat in the room. I was on mute. Sorry.
Nah, you're fair. You're fine.
Yeah. What did I say? Oh, yes. We're only going to have those years if we can waylay him, I think is what she said. Yeah.
And Inky nods. Yes. I may have some information that may help you then. I have, for obvious reasons, tried to keep track of my, my ex-brother's, growth through the underground.
Anything you can give us, it would be appreciated.
I think I can give you, at least a good deal what you're looking at right now, as he looks to Flutter and says, go fetch the map, and she gives a nod.
She's rolling her hammer space. She's pulling out a little notebook and pen.
I have kept the underground caverns here are vast and large, and I never would have thought that my brother would grow to such, well, girth.
If my understanding is correct, he absorbs magic and his size is dependent on how much magic he has consumed. And from what we have been able to gather based on Olivia's notes, there was a small reservoir in that underground network from the Well of Inspiration.
So that's how he grew so big, or at least partially. He sort of
That is our assumption, yes.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I first started to plot out where he was. And unfortunately, he's only been growing ever since he started this university, this city. All part of his experiments.
Unfortunately so. And as it stands now, he has down there somewhere a dragon. So,
I know.
goodness only knows what we are going to be dealing with in the near future.
Yes. I sort of knew eventually that would happen with her being taken away by him. It's gonna be very much a bad it's be a very, very bad day. If he ever comes out of that hole. As Flutter then comes back with a map, a very large map that's comedical to her size.
Ha!
As the three siblings start to lay it outwards, and they have mapped, and like you can see the drawing and redrawing of this map that of the underground and the cavern around it, and the caverns around his mass.
Oh my god. Yes!
As you can As you can see, for our own well-being and safety, I've been keeping track of my brother's growth. It has been extremely hard and difficult to, but this is a, as you can see, he has taken up almost all of the cave, say the cave spaces. And like you sort of expected before, it's sort of a root sort of like a reverse root system where it's mainly gone upwards and outwards rather than to the side.
Okay, yeah.
This is say and Inky goes to one portion of the map to a much longer cave system that is a much longer cave system. I can say this over here is the lowest point of the cave system, and it'll take a little bit to get there. I hope you know how to spelunk, but you can take there's this way longer way this way, and he sort of like uses his foot to like draw a say not actually draw but like sort of do an invisible path all the way to near the surface and say
Mm-hmm.
it'll be a little longer out of the way, but he wouldn't detect you until you came upon him right here at the lowest point.
Selli is like speechless, but like in the good way. Like she's actually shaking a little bit.
Yeah, just be careful when you get to this part. This is say all these lower parts are technically a part of the uncanny valley, or at least they once were. There have been over the years caves have shifted due to tectonic plates, but as say they were still originally part of the valley.
I see. Would you part with this map?
Yes, if it means keeping my people safe.
Thank you. I do not know how well our expedition will go. I cannot guarantee our success. And if the case arises that we fail, if he were to defeat our entire group, I do not know if he would follow through on his threat to destroy the city. But if you would like, I can send you forewarning of when we go down,
I would very
so
much,
that you can make any preparations that you might wish to do.
I would very much like that.
And she gives a nod. And then she sort of sits back a little bit and goes,
I'm asking this strictly out of curiosity, but did you know how he was created?
Shook his head. No. Neither me nor Flair know how she did it. But we suspected some sort of experimentation, at least.
The only reason why I ask, and I suspect this is more due to her mental state than anything else, but until I contacted her after his attack on the university, Jewel was unaware that he was still alive.
Not surprised. Not surprised at all. After, well, and he sort of looks down. He looks downward. After Emily died, she cut herself up. She cut ties with all of us up. Her grief was so powerful that even looking at us caused her pain. because we reminded her of, well, Emily's children, and Emily's children reminded her of, well, Emily.
Yes. The letter that you received may have been written on my stationery, but it was written by her.
Yes, I could tell that much. I remember her handwriting. And maybe
She...
if this is all when this is all over, or if the worst happened, I can get everyone out to safety. I can speak to her, but until this matter is resolved, I cannot leave my post.
Understood. If there is anything that you need, please feel free to contact me. You are all here in this university and in this city, and I have a responsibility to everyone here. You are quite clearly doing splendid work here without my interference, and I won't impede on that. But if I can supply anything or provide any assistance, now that I know you are here, I will give it gladly.
Let's first take the first steps of letting the majority of here settle into the fact of knowing some big knows of our existence first.
Yes, that is probably a good first step. But I shall not come knocking on your door unless I must.
He nods. I appreciate that. I've been, again, keeping this place safe for a very long time, and they do trust me, all of them, but there is still this stigma of between bigs and tinies. It's still the relationship is getting better, but it will let them at least settle into this knowledge, and if we do want your help, we will we will put it into a vote.
She nods. And then she looks down at the map again and then looks back at Inky and goes,
Is there anything else you can tell me that may help us deal with Quill?
He shakes his head. I've only known what I've seen. I have not gotten closer for obvious reasons. I don't know. You probably know way more about him than I do at this point.
I suspect that is true. And at this stage, some of the things that I know about him will not bring you any benefit or comfort. What magic are you using to keep his eyes averted from your campus?
A lot of protection magic, generally. And divination magic mixed in to keep away from prying eyes.
Would you be able to part with some notes that I can perhaps consult with the others of my party to see if they are something we could use?
I don't think what I have to offer will help you in any regards. Not going into the den itself.
She sort of thinks about it and then she nods.
Proximity to the source of the problem makes any protective measures more precarious, I suppose.
And most of these wards have taken years of reinforcement to get to where there are. We started out when my ex-brother was not exactly weaker, but you know what I mean.
Mm, yes, no, I do. Thank you. This is a tremendous help. I really do appreciate it.
And she's going to reach down and she's going to fold the map up very carefully and stick it into her hammer space.
I should let you get on with your evening. I would also appreciate it if you would make sure that your little cohort cleans up the mess that was made in the fourth floor and in the cafeteria area.
He nods. We will make sure that, we'll make sure that, no trace of our existence, is shown. We have done, I'm not very sure if you know about that one wizard tradition, but we have done, Flutter has been leading that for now a while. And Flutter nods. We always in chi signs. We always make sure to put everything back the way they once were.
Well, that is good news. I don't think anyone would appreciate coming into broken ceramics in the cafe tomorrow morning. Good. I may send out a memo to the Wizards College and reinforce a request that they not come in after dark. They have already started doing that on their own. I heard some students speaking about it earlier today. It's apparently my doing, but I will make it my doing.
He
so
nods.
that they know not to come in when they should not.
Inky nods. Yes, you've definitely been a good influence on this school. And you have commemorated, fear in some respect and fear in equal measure. Change is difficult for anyone, but after such a rough period as with, well, the last headmistress, some people rather be safe than sorry.
I would like to think that I am not particularly terrifying,
She says with her intimidation stat.
but the previous headmistress ruled by manipulation and mind control. So I am hoping that at least I'm a step above that.
Anything is a step up. You're very much more than a step above that. You're what what this university needs.
And she smiles and nods.
Thank you. I should get going.
And she very carefully stands up and adjusts her skirt. And then she's just sort of going to wait to see what the tinies do before she starts to move.
The tinies are still they're watching out for you, but they're just sort of staring in bewilderment still, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying not to show it. It's just they're trying to give you guys privacy, but at the same time, you're very big.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, cool. Well, she's just going to do that, and she's going to give another small little half bow. And then retrace her steps as exactly as she can back to the attic entrance, and then turn to look back over at the tiny campus and
have a very good night
before she heads back down to the fourth floor.
Yeah, you head back down to the fourth floor. There is a lever to release the door to let you back in, and then it closes behind you again.
Mm-hmm. She is going to take the lift down to the ground floor. She's just going to calmly walk over to the teleportation circle so that she can bamf home.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's going to go up to their library. And then she's just going to stand there thinking for a second, pull out a paper airplane,
Mm-hmm.
and address it to the professor and just write, I have a map. And then sign her name, fold it, and throw it. And then she's going to go about going to bed.
Yes.
She's had a very long day. And she got ceramics thrown at her, which she didn't appreciate.
Yeah. Scrambles probably was a little bit worried and like is still up. And he's like, what happened to you? As he sees like the scratches from the ceramics.
I'm fine, love. It's not a problem.
Not a problem.
I'm just going to have a shower and go to bed. I'll be right in the morning.
Just
Wouldn't even know that they were there.
at least heal them or something. It's just like he's just fretting over you. I worry about you, darling, and I don't say I should have came with you. To say maybe those ghost stories are actually true about the library.
Oh dear, oh dear. I'm trying to find where her hit dice is to how many HP she recovers on a rest.
It wouldn't matter. You would have a long rest, but it's still like it's the fretting over. It's the husband fretting over you.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's only some little scratches and a bruise. Like, she has a grand total of 60 HP, and she got 6 damage. Oh no.
This is true. This is absolutely true. But counterpoint, a husband that loves his wife very much is afraid no matter what.
Yeah, she's just gonna keep brushing him off, give him a kiss, and then just go to sleep.
Yes. And Scribbles finally gets some rest for himself also.
Yep. Oh dear. Well, we eventually get there. Oh my god. Selli rolled so bad at the beginning. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wonderful. But we got there in the end. Huzzah! Thank you for 2 nat 20s in a row.
Yeah.
Yay.
And thank you everyone for listening in to this 12 FPS. I hope you have a good time zone. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.